Hello everyone and welcome back to Chris Aquatics. Now in today's video it's a bit different, so we're down some aquariums, well one aquarium I should say. The big tank is gone. It was too much of a nightmare for me and I prefer nano tanks to be honest, so we have everything sort of changed around. I ended up keeping the gourami because my partner does like the gourami, so we kept the gourami. Other than that, I have some of the black neons in that tank and the rest of that tank is pretty much gone. So I am setting up a new aquarium to house a couple more plants as we have so many at this point. So the bottom rack is now being utilized. The tank on the left was all the way over there on the left side there, but now it's down the bottom. Now this is our aquarium that we're going to be setting up and it's clean that well. You can see me filming, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so we're starting off with this tank. It is 30 centimeters long, just like the one on the left, a tiny bit shorter and a little bit less deep. And I'm going to be setting it up as a nano tank. And I'm not spending really any money on this. I didn't buy anything I'm going to be using in this video. I kind of just use different methods that I'll let you guys know on how I did them to get the parts that I need. Starting off with the aquarium, I picked this up from a friend who I gave some plants that I no longer needed to, and he gave me this old tank that was fairly dirty, but I've cleaned it up and it looks nicer now. There's a slight chip on the top corner, but I really don't think that matters in the sense that I don't fill my tanks up that high, so we'll probably only fill it up to just underneath that anyway. Now this is the light we're going to be putting on the tank. I also got it from my friend. He got it off eBay, I'm fairly sure. It's a little bit bigger than the tank, as you can see, but it's not going to bother me too much. And I also got this from trading plants to him. For the filter, I'm going to be using one of my hang on the backs. This is the spare one. Cleaned it up a little bit. I don't really care for the look, because I'll try to hide this to best to my ability. But I'll be using a hang on the back filter for this. And the back area is empty at the moment, so I'm going to be adding some activated carbon to it to give it a little bit more filtration, make the water just a bit cleaner. Alright, so we've added the filter, and in the back of the filter is the activated carbon, you can see. And we've added the substrate. So the substrate I'm going with is this one, the Aqua soil from ADA. It's the Amazonia, and it's the gold one. So use this with Caridina Shrimp, and my plan with this setup is to have this tank that will be suitable for Caridina, but I can also plant it out. So I'm going to be filling this up with RO water and planting it out with a variety of different things. I'm going to try to I've sloped the back mostly, and then we're going to try to have like a flat front, and we're going to try to carpet the front and do a kind of stem wall from this side to this side, and then leave this side viewing and this side viewing. So a bit of time has passed and the tank is still sitting there. I'm making RO water, so it took about 3 hours or so to make enough water for this tank, for anyone curious. We have a lot of plants to go through, so I'm not going to be using peanut or feeder, that's for something else. But we have a bunch of Blood Red, Rotala, and Ludwigia, and that's super red. And then there's this one, I don't know the name of it, the guy didn't have an ID. Then there's some Repens and Dwarf Chainsword, Liliopsis. All these plants I scored for free off people. If you find the right people, guys, you can get pretty lucky, and some people are really nice, so just gotta look around and be patient. So I'm not spending any money on this tank now, and it's pretty great. We're gonna use a good few of these plants and plant it out. I'm gonna start filling up the water now. Now, if anyone's curious how I add water, I have a peg attached to an inline tubing, which has RO water in it, and that's running into the tank. Any faster rate than this, and we're gonna have issues with this soil being stirred up, so I'm more than happy to be patient with it. I'd rather be patient and let it be than sit there trying to clean a tank that's a complete mess for hours. So, I mean, you can see it's slowly filling up pretty well. It's not even that bad. I'm gonna fill it up to the point where it's just around the height of this, but across the whole tank, so then we can plant the base plants, and then we'll keep filling it up from there. Alright, so in short, this is about it. So I'm going to fill it up to this height, and that is a bit murky as I got rid of all the air bubbles that I could, and a lot of the aqua soil was floating. Sorry, I lost my words for a second. So I had to get that to sink, but now we can plant the tank out a bit. So I'm gonna try to go through a few things at the front as a lower part, and then I'm gonna try to plant out the back. Alright, so I've sort of let this tank go for about 2 weeks, as I wanted to sort of test on how the plants would go without just straight filming it for you guys straight away like I normally do. I thought I'd have a bit more length to this video in the sense of time that this took me to do, as I wanted to show you guys how the plants would actually establish. So all the plants I ended up adding are in now. So there's a Crypt at the front. This is a Crypt Nurri Rosen Maiden. I have some of the, I forget the exact name of this one. It's like a Dwarf grass, and then there's Repens, and then some Rotala Red is also in here, the Blood Red. There's some Ludwigia in here as well, and then there's a bit of, I'll have all the names down in the description so I can show you guys. So for the future of this aquarium, I'm planning on adding some Caridina Shrimp to it, as I did add RO water and I used the right substrate to do it. Now normally everyone would use the sponge filter. I'm going to test the hang on the back and see how it goes, because I kind of wanted to have as little coverage from, I kind of wanted to have as much plant coverage as possible without having a filter in the aquarium. So I'm going to see how everything goes, and I'm going to leave it like this for another 2 weeks. I'm not going to touch it. And when I do add the Caridina Shrimp, we'll see how everything looks, and hopefully we have some success in this tank as well. If anyone has any suggestions for this aquarium, feel free to let me know. The light I ended up putting on it is a Chihirohs B series light, as I have it on a different tank as well. But that's the light that ended up being on this one, and it seems to be growing the plants fairly well. I also added some root tabs to every inch of the aquarium, so we're going to see how they go with the shrimp as well. There's no iron located in these root tabs, so I don't think it should be an issue, but we'll find out. Other than that, if you guys are interested in seeing more videos of this one, feel free to let me know, and I'll be doing updates on this tank if so. Otherwise, I'm just going to let this one go and see how it looks in a couple of months when I end up adding the Caridina Shrimp. Until next time, it was a pleasure making this video for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you have any suggestions for this setup or another different plant you'd like to see in it, feel free to let me know. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.